was watching this video from Glendon Cameron here he says, no eBay, no Amazon, more money. And actually, he's not necessarily preaching against eBay or Amazon, but rather he's pointing out the fact that there's hordes of people trying to sell on eBay and Amazon. The job market's not the best, and the same thing kind of happens with eBay and Amazon. A lot of people jump on there to try to make money as a result. So there's a lot of people fighting over the same pie. And the concept he presents sort of is the idea of you creating your own pie. And one creates their own pie by having a niche or something that puts you or separates you from the pack so that you're not going the same direction everybody else is. And it reminded me of something I was doing on eBay for a long time that led people to my website so that I was making money off of or outside of eBay. And what was interesting is I could use eBay to push people to my website, and I could use also Google AdWords and actually a lot of things to push people to my website. I could even use ClickBank. And what the trick was is, and it's actually something he kind of mentioned a little bit, but not really. This is sort of like an example of doing what he's talking about in this video. Okay, he was talking about making money outside of eBay and Amazon, and he was also talking about having a product, like for instance that you manufactured or you created, or it could be even an informational product or whatever that you created that you're selling on your own website, on eBay, on Amazon, etc., etc. But the point is to focus more so on the fact that it's your product. It's not a product that 100 other sellers are selling. It's your specific product that no one else has. Okay? So with that being said, you're the source, and people could buy from you to sell on eBay. People could buy from you to sell on Amazon. That's kind of what he was saying. And it reminded me of something I was doing before. Actually, I still do it, but I was doing it on a bigger level before. The idea is I would create informational products, and I would put them on a CD. And the way I had it set up, I knew that I would win every time. I would make a ton of money just starting out selling it because of how I set it up. And the idea was that was nothing. That's just the sale, okay, of this product that you particularly created. But on top of that, I would send them to my website, and I would give them, I would have them click a PayPal link to a subscription, a free subscription. It was free for the first 3 months in some cases, free for this first 2 months, 3 months, something like that. So they click on the subscription, they pay $0, and they got access to my members area for 2 or 3 months for free. But see, what happens is automatically after those 2 or 3 months have passed, it starts billing them $5.95 a month, $9.95 a month, whatever the membership access is. So okay, so what I would do from start to finish is I would first come up with what I thought was a good idea for an informational product. Okay, and you can actually do this with other things as well. You could even do this with physical products, but you won't have a membership area, obviously. And he was kind of talking more of a physical product. But let's just talk informational product here, okay? You can do it either way, though, because the idea is if you have your own product, you control it. So if you have your own physical product, what you would be doing is you would be finding people on eBay to sell it, and you would have multiple sellers. Okay, so that's where you would go with the physical. With the informational product, which is still also a physical product, or it could be a physical product, with the informational product, what you would do, starting from start to finish, is this. You would first, you would brainstorm some ideas on what you would like to do an informational product on. And let's say you write down a number of topics, and then you would go do research on eBay. The idea is to find other people who are already selling informational products on these topics. You would look through the completed item history on eBay. You would look for completed sales on an informational product on the topic you're searching for. So, whatever the topic might be, obviously there's many ways to make money online. So you could sell an informational product on making money online, which is like about half of the informational products out there. Let's say you made an informational product on how to make money on Amazon. Okay, so what you do is you go search for such an informational product already selling on eBay. You sort by highest price first. It's on the top right. You check the completed items box on the left. You have to go through and sort of tweak your search until you find what you're looking for. You're trying to find someone selling information on how to make good money on Amazon. Let's say Amazon FBA, because that's very popular right now. Let's say you wanted to sell a guide on how to do Amazon FBA. I'm not saying that you want to. This is just an example product. Okay, there's thousands of products you could do. You could do it on AdSense. You could do it on ClickBank. You could do it on VigLinks. You could do it on whatever. I don't even care. So let's just take Amazon FBA guide. Okay, I don't have one, by the way. I don't have an Amazon FBA guide. But let's just say you are going to do a product on Amazon FBA. And you're going to teach people how to do Amazon FBA. And let's say you already know how to do Amazon FBA and you want to pass that knowledge to somebody else. So what you do is, like I said, you go on eBay, completed item search, sort by highest price first. Look for the greens. Look for clusters of greens on some sort of guide on how to do Amazon FBA. And let's say you find the guy who's making all the money selling this type of informational product on eBay. What you do is you find their advertisement that is making all the money, because it's the advertisement that makes the sale, not the product. The advertisement. I hope you understand that. Because the advertisement is what describes the product and what gets them to purchase it. So you find the advertisement that's making all the money, you print it out, and what you do next is you might actually have to do a little bit of studying before you do this next step. If you don't know anything about marketing, go to your local bookstore. I'm not joking, I'm serious. And find a standard book on how to write advertising copy. That's all you need to do. You just need to know the basics of how to do advertising marketing, advertising copy, how you write down an advertisement, how to make how to put out there what is the benefits of the product, not the features, the benefits. How to separate it into various sections and subtitle it properly using color psychology, using imagery. Like, for instance, usually if you have a person, it makes it more personable. By benefits, I mean, what is it the person really wants from your product? Okay? Like, if it's a diet pill, they don't want to know what's in the stupid diet pill. They just want to know that they're going to look hot in a bikini when summer comes around, when they go to the beach. That's all they want to know. So they want that benefit. So then you just talk about the benefit. Wouldn't you like to look beautiful and get in, or wouldn't you like to get back into that bikini or wouldn't you like to get into those skinny jeans again? You see what I mean? So, not that I'm going to sell diet pills, but you get kind of the idea. And I'm not going to give you a crash course in marketing here. Okay, I've just told you some very basic stuff right there, but you should get a book on it, because even a small book. I have like a really small, thin book, just like a sort of Cliff Notes thing, kind of. If you know how to market already, if you know how to write an advertisement copy, I mean, some solid basics, then you're set. Okay. Next step is, after you printed out that advertisement, you go through and you circle all the benefits, all the subtitling that makes sense, the color psychology, whatever it is you see in the advertisement that grabs your attention, that relates to standard marketing principles. This is going to take you a little while to do this, but this is going to make you sales right away. Okay, that's kind of the point. Instead of wasting your time doing a bunch of trial and error and failing multiple times, this actually helps you to make sales the first time you list the item. Okay, so after you circle everything, you realize kind of what the product is that they're selling, and you basically come up with your product to match the advertisement. Okay, that's what you actually do. You make the advertisement first, and then you make the product. So you first found who's making all the money. You found their advertisement. You just reverse engineered their advertisement. And then you figured out what the product is. And then you make the product. So you're going completely backwards as to how most people would make a product, because this is the way you do it successfully. So once you finally figured out what the product is based on the advertisement, you can try to one up them. Okay? In other words, you try to make yours sound better than theirs. And actually, a good idea, if there's multiple people selling this type of guide on eBay, you print out all their advertisements, all the successful people, and you take all the best features from every single one of them, and you put all those features in your advertisement. It'll probably take you about 12 hours to reverse engineer all these advertisements and make your advertisement, writing it out. Yeah, 12 solid hours of work, probably. That's what it took me often. You know, it might take as little as 4 hours, as many as 20 hours. But you're going to have to, if you're wanting to make a bunch of money, this is going to be the best 12 hours you ever spent, okay? It's better than you spending 12 hours not knowing what the hell you're doing. You know, this is something that will actually make you succeed, okay? Because every time I've done this, I've made a ton of sales on the first listing when I do this. So after you do that, you make this killer advertisement, you figure out what the product is, and then you go make the product. And to make the product, you might be, oh, I can't make the product. Well, you can source the product. In some cases, you can source it, splitting the profit 50-50, especially if it's like a high dollar item, you know. Some courses can cost $100, $200, you know. It depends what it is. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that necessarily what the price would be on something like this, but the point is that you're trying to get this thing going right. So let's just say there's some free materials out there that you can use. In some cases, there's some free ebooks even. And there's also the factor of, like I said, if you can't find anything, you can just make a deal with one of these guys that has one, 50-50 profit, okay? Whatever you end up doing, you go from there and you put up this advertisement. And of course, there's a little bit of marketing know-how on how to maximize something like this, which I'm going to tell you in a minute as well. But the idea is that you're trying to sell this guide or whatever the informational product is. So you list it up, and if you get it selling 1 out of 3 times, that's a good sign, because that means it's a healthy advertisement. Okay? You should just start with something very basic, like a 7-day listing, maybe auction with buy it now or something like that. Make sure to make sure to reverse engineer their titling, how they use the titles, how they use the categories, all that kind of stuff. And, just start out slow and, do a few sales, make sure everything's right, make sure that the guide is done, make sure the customers are happy when they get it, all that kind of stuff. Then once you get past all that, what you do next is you start analyzing how they're listing their guide, all the competitors. And if they're really good, they're probably going to have it category featured, maybe some Dutch auctions, even if it really sells fast. If it's an expensive item, they're not going to be doing any of that. It might be just straight 7-day listing, standard listing, or something, or might have like highlighted or something like that. Just observe what kind of techniques you're using. The icon can often be very important. You might want to make a really good icon using color psychology a little bit as well. But the idea is once you got it figured out, you got it all cleaned up, and you start seeing the sales, then you can start scaling things up. Now, you'll notice trends, like you'll use maybe various types of titles. You might want to do some variant types of titles and some variant categories. And of course, you might want to do this as well. Actually, you will want to do this. You'll want to ask yourself, what would a customer search for? Okay, and maybe your competitor's lazy. Maybe they didn't think of all the words. Maybe they just put up the top most important words that you would use to search it. And maybe there's a few very relevant words that he never thought about using. There might be a few categories that are very relevant that he never used. And this can also niche you as well. When I say the term niche, I mean separate you from others. Separate you. So instead of you fighting over the same pie with all these other guys, you're making your own pie. If these guys are all selling in the same category using the same title every time, they're missing out a lot. There's probably a couple categories they didn't even list in that are very relevant. There's probably several words that a customer would search for that they never thought about putting in there. There's also other maximization techniques. Once you start to see the patterns, you can start to know, and you got to roll it out a certain way. First, you would start out with the weekends. You would start selling it on the weekends, especially informational products. Anything on how to make money, the best days to sell it on are Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Why? Because people are thinking in these particular times about making money. For example, if they're on a weekend, they're like, man, I hate my freaking job. But of course they're partying, so they're not necessarily going to be looking as much. But they're going to be looking because they got free time. Okay, now on Monday and Tuesday they get back to the job and they're like, I freaking hate this job. And it comes back to mind. I want to make money online. And that's when they start looking as Monday and Tuesday as well. So you want to make your listings for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. This is where you want to start. The best time is when people get home from work. Okay, 6 to 8 p.m. So this is when you'd want to list your item. So these are the best times to get your listings up for an informational product. Okay. Then, if you see really good sales, it's like selling almost every time when you get it on the weekend. That's a good sign. That's a good sign that you're on the right track, okay? And so what you do from there is you start trying to branch out into listing every day, the 6 to 8 p.m. time, except for because you have so many listings, you don't want to saturate it. That's why you have to have variant titles and variant categories. So you do some randomization with that, and then you look for more patterns. And whatever's working, you expand on, and whatever's not working, you change and fix. And once you get to this level, you might want to sign up for eBay Selling Manager Pro or Octavia, because then you can monitor the sell-through rates, because you can make up scripts for listing items, and it will tell you the sell-through rate for the particular script you set up. Okay, I want this to list on Monday using this title, this category, 6 p.m. And that's the script. And then you might have a script on Saturday, a different title, a different category at 8 p.m. or whatever. And then you can look at the sell-through rate, the performance on both. And let's say one's 20% one's 25% and one's 10%. The 10%'s weak. That's bad. That's really bad. So you should either fix it or delete it. And let's say you have one that's like performing at 40 or 45%. That's really good. You should expand on that one. Think of ways you can expand more on that. Maybe it's a title that's doing it, or the category and the title together, and you might want to expand that onto other days, or change the ones that are on other days that have a different title that are not performing well. Just change it to that title and see if it fixes it. You know what I mean? So I'm getting kind of specific here, but so you keep expanding like this, and all the while, and I got to backtrack now some, you got to set up a website, obviously, if you want to start getting subscriptions, right? So the trick is, I'm going to kind of give you a bird's eye view. The trick is here, so you got this product, let's say it's on Amazon FBA, a guide, okay? So your website, if you're thinking big, you're thinking to yourself, okay, I want to make a few products on related topics. So let's say I have an informational product on Amazon FBA. I have an informational product on how to make money on eBay, and whatever, maybe one for, let's see, what else? Let's just say one for eBay, one for Amazon FBA, and one for just standard Amazon selling. Does that make sense? Just, you get kind of what I'm saying. You got to make related guides, okay? They're related topics. So you make these, you've already got the first one going. It's going kind of smoothly, or it's going smoothly. And then you make this website that's going to have a members area, which is going to have basically this ebook and also related information. Okay. You send them a link after they bought your guide. You send them a link on email saying, "Hey, I'm going to send you a CD with the guide on it in the mail." And why do I recommend throwing it on a CD? By the way, because you can sell in 3 times as many places, and you can make money off shipping costs. I mean, and besides the fact that eBay discourages ebooks, so I mean, you could still sell it in informational form, but if you throw it on a CD, it's like a physical item, and people are more likely going to buy as well, and they're more likely to pay more money, and they're going to pay a shipping cost, and you can list it in about 3 times as many places, and it's freaking easy to make a CD. Okay? If you got a CD burner, and you can go buy these CD maker, I got one here. What is it? Stupid stamp thing. You know what I mean? And then you got the little sticker things that goes right on the CD. It's not rocket science. It's pretty easy. You can easily make that stuff. It doesn't cost that much to make. It doesn't cost that much to ship in a bubble mailer. You can get bubble mailers at the dollar store. I think it's like 2 bubble mailers for $1. And you can get it cheaper than that if you look around, if you buy in bulk. So you get what I'm saying. So if you throw on a CD, you can make a lot more sales. So, but you send them a link in an email saying, "Hey, I want, you can have access to it online and plus have all this extra content. Just click on this link and sign up with PayPal. It's free for the first 2 or 3 months. You can cancel anytime you want." And it will say in there when they click on the link that it's $5.95 a month or $7.95 or whatever you want to add, $4.95 every month thereafter, after 3 months. And a lot of people will sign up for it. I would say probably 40% if you do it right. And 50%. And after they sign up, a lot of them forget about it, and then it still charges them later. You'll probably get at least a couple $4.95s or $5.95s before they cancel it. Extra money right there, right? Then if you make these related guides, like an eBay guide and maybe a different type of Amazon selling guide, you can send them to the same website, the same members area, the same thing, everything the same exact members area. And you can fill that members area with content from answering emails that are sent to you, because you're going to get questions. You're going to get questions about how to use the guide. How do I do this? How do I do that? You answer the question, you save it. You save the HTML, you slap it into a web page, you put it up in the members area and answer a question. So, and this is what actually I did. I'm telling you what I did. Okay. I had 600 subscribers paying me $6 a month. That's $3,600 that I didn't even have to do anything for. $3,600. Nothing needed to be shipped. No work involved. $3,600 extra dollars. Doesn't that sound pretty good? So this is how you'd make a members area. And I just told you a really good way on how to do it. And you don't need to just sell it on eBay. You can sell this guide from your own website with a PayPal or a Skrill button or whatever payment processor you want to use. Square or whatever. I wouldn't recommend Square, but people use Square. There's tons of them. So you can have all these different you can have a payment processor button, a buy button on a page to buy this guide. You use the exact same advertisement you used on eBay because you already know it's a successful ad. So you don't need to test it. It's already working. It's already perfect. You throw it on your website. So you already know that piece of the component is perfect. Then all you need to do is work on making a Google AdWords ad. And believe it or not, you can actually use very similar reverse engineering techniques to make a killer Google AdWords pitch. Yeah, actually, I used to teach this too, and I'm teaching it right now. What you do is you do searches on Google for the particular product you're selling, and you look at the ads, to see who's selling it on the side menu. And I'm going to show you how to separate the sheeps from the goats here. Okay? Any mega company that's over on the side, you can ignore them. They're the goats. Okay? They're dumb companies that pay a lot of money for a crappy ad on Google AdWords. Just the sad facts, but it's often true. It's not always true, but it's not wise to use any mega corporation's ad as an example. So anybody who has a small company that's over there at the top on Google AdWords for the particular search you put in and it's related to what you're selling, that's a killer ad. Okay? You copy what they have written down there, and if there's more than one, you copy them all. You notice what kind of the pattern of how they pitched it, and you make your pitch very related. Okay? That's reverse engineering again. So then when you start up AdWords, it's already got a killer advertisement, a killer pitch. Now all you need to do is work on, figuring out what keywords to use and all that kind of stuff. And I've actually done videos covering that on my other account, SaleDaddy1, on how to set up really good keyword setups for AdWords. And actually another factor is I would recommend also signing up with Google Shopping and then doing AdWords in conjunction with Google Shopping, because you usually get more bang for your buck there. But I would try it both ways, just straight AdWords and through Google Shopping AdWords. And then you can send them to your page, and because you have the perfect pitch, and the pitch has to match your ad, and then since you have the perfect ad, you're going to be making good sales doing that as well. And then also you can have within that PayPal button, when they come to your page or Skrill, you can have the subscription added right into the purchase price of the guide, so that when they buy, $50 for the guide and $5.95 a month, and that's how you do it, man. And then once you get up to like 1,000 subscribers, you got like $5,000-$6,000 a month coming in residual. Okay, of course, over time that gets lower and lower, but all you got to do is just keep making more sales of guides. See what I mean? And just keep that thing pumped up. So that's how you actually do it. I thought I'd put this on video. I thought I should do it one day eventually. So hopefully that helps some of you out in selling informational products and making a subscription website.